Everybody, I thought I would give you an introduction to a project that I'm going to start on. This is a 1985 Shopcraft table saw, cast iron table saw, and just a little bit of history. This was, I've got this when the gentleman that raised me through most of my years from 10 years old on passed away from cancer. We divided up some of his tools, and this is what I got. I got this from him. So this is a 1985, again, Shopcraft. It's cast iron. This thing weighs a ton. My plan is to, I've had it around and it has not been able to get set up because not having a shop in the past, hasn't been used much, so I am hoping to go through, tear it down, get it realigned, go ahead and get the unifence back on it that I've got, and then I also want to build a new cabinet for it on the lower cabinet and put a router stand as incorporating in part of that, rewiring it, removing the rust. I've got a handle to build, and I've got some number of things to go through to make sure it's safe and moving forward. So this should be going on for a while. Hope you enjoy. So far I've knocked the saw down. I did a little bit of cleanup on the stand here. I started scrubbing the bed. It is obviously pretty rusted, but I don't think there's any heavy pitting in there, so I should be able to get this cleaned up and make it look pretty decent. The rest of the saw is completely broken down, cleaned up. I did find out that the bearings were a little dry, so I decided to order out new bearings. And then the switch that was on there was just a household toggle switch, or a four-way switch, so you can use it for 220. I decided to replace that with a paddle stop, so I can have safety. So yeah, everything's looking good other than those bearings. Everything's looking good so far. Continue tearing this down. I'll have parts in another day or two, and I'll be able to start putting this back together, getting it lubed up, and then start assembling it and hopefully have it running in a couple of days. So I spent a little time on this top. This side here, I first soaked it. I ended up soaking it overnight with the Justice Brothers W80, I believe it's what it's called, just to kind of break up the rust a little bit. And then took just a hand wire brush to it, and then I went over it with some 220 sandpaper with a random Orville. This side here, I've just gone over it with light wire brush and wiped it down. And the center here is just, I haven't really scrubbed on that yet at all. It'll be probably, this here will be the toughest area, I think, to get cleaned up. So we'll continue scrubbing and getting this thing cleaned up.